Greetings, everybody. I'm spending the last nice days sitting in my garden, and I'm just going to share my thoughts with you today. I'm going to tell you two things about Jenny. You, a stranger, cannot set up my partner with me. Mm-mm. And you, as a stranger, cannot set up my children with me or against me. I don't take anybody's story about my people, my family that I love, because I have eyes to see. I know them better than sometimes they know themselves. And if your children come around me, I guarantee you, if you give me a week, I'll probably know more about them than you know them, even though you are the parent. And you're saying, well, how you know your kids more than other people, and then you're going to know other person's kids more than them. That is parents who are not plugged in I'm talking about, not parents who are plugged in and know their kids very well. I'm very observant, especially when it comes to little children. I watch them. And when they're playing by themselves, I draw close and listen to what they're saying. I watch their facial expression, and thanks for the spirit of discernment, I understand things and know things sometimes even before the ones who are closest to them, because you have people living in the same space with you doesn't mean that they know you, because if they don't have intuition, if they're not intuitive, they're not going to know you. So I would tell people to save their breath. Don't call me and tell me anything about my partner, about my children, because I make it my business to know them. And what I don't know, what I cannot see with the physical eyes, thanks be to the Most High, my guides will show me. Okay? Now, really, I'm just getting that out of the way. And I'm just saying this to you, everyone that's listening. A lot of us are shocked and surprised about some of the things that are happening. And I don't know why. You know why? Because you were always looking for an excuse to forgive some people, are looking for the opportunity to deny what you already know to be true. And now, with everything that's happening, it's taking that out of your hands, and you're so stressed and frustrated because you don't want to know the truth. The truth is, as an African woman, as a mother, I have always understood that when it comes to issues that affect our community, sometimes problems that are created by other persons, roadblocks that are put in our way to make sure that we don't succeed. It's always been evident. The thing is, we all face the same kind of roadblocks, but some of us are more determined. Some of us have said to ourselves, we will not surrender, we will not give in, we will continuously step on the dirt when it gets thrown on us until we get to the top. So that determination that lies between myself and someone else who has a similar trait, and the one who surrender, is something that we should examine. Let me share a story of what it's like to be a Black woman and a mother who has to then go in front of my kids, like how you see the duck walking and all the babies behind, or the chicken walking down the road and her babies are behind her. She's protecting them. And if you dare try to touch one of her babies, she's fierce. She will destroy you. She will lay herself down. That's me. I will lay myself down for my children, regardless. And I'm going to tell you that I had some experiences with my older child, some issues that turned up when she was young and started being rebellious, and how the spirits led me to finding out more than I could see with my naked eyes. I was engaged in some charity work, some voluntary work, and I was at a meeting where we're being trained to deal with some people, going through some different difficult times in their lives. And as we went through the material, we got to, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to divulge too much about my daughter's personal business, but as we were going through the material, I stumbled upon something and someone gave an example of what to look out for. And it's like the hair on the back of my neck stood up because I recognized the symbol. Didn't mean anything to me at the time. It seemed very simple, just like a regular thing that any teenager could be doing. And when I got home, I went to her and I said, I need to further investigate this situation. And I forced her to do a certain thing so I could see the truth, to open up the truth. And when I saw it, it was the most frightening thing. To think that I was actually there giving my time to other persons and she was experiencing these things. And now it has nothing to do with physical or sexual. So, get your mind out of that. It was more of a mental thing that was going on. So I reached out to people who are professionals in the area to say, listen, this is a situation that is showing itself, and I need you to delve further with your understandings. And they put me out of the room to have a conversation with her. No problem. I'm very liberal. And I always believe that kids should have a voice. That's why I always gave them like a diary. And I say, put everything you want to keep private or sacred in this diary. I got curious though, and I opened the diary and I started reading it. Of course, she figured that I had done that because one time she left an entry in there for me. A message to show me that she knew that I had gone in to observe. Anyway, I, went on to a different tandem just now. But anyway, so I stepped out of the doctor's office to give her room to speak freely because there might be stuff she doesn't want me to know, because it happens even when you're close to your kids. I always tell them, I want you to talk to me first. I want you to tell me everything. I'm not going to bring judgment to it. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes there's something some kids would rather say to a friend or say to, another authority. So I said, okay, it's a doctor. Let her speak and speak freely. When I came back into the room and thought this man was going to at least tell me some things that I needed to know, not all the detail, but some things, he said he already spoke to her. She knew what to do. What he essentially did there was take my power as a parent and gave it to a child. Okay? And when she found out that she had that kind of power where she could just do things without my permission, imagine a young child who doesn't have that brain fully closed and developed is going to run with it. And so it makes your parenting more difficult because now a kid, not just agency, because every child should have, the opportunity to express themselves and to seek whatever it is they desire, but they need guidance. And they took that away from me. So I went to some place in my voluntary work. It was a mental health facility. And I saw this woman bringing her son in. They forcibly brought him into the hospital to get treatment. And I thought to myself, wow, there were so many black women that I knew whose children were acting out, who were showing signs of mental health problems, and they never had that power. They said the child had to decide. So what I want to say, I don't want to run on too long in this video, is to say that as women and as black women and, black parents, we are stripped of our power, our parenting rights from a long time ago, especially when it came to our children's mental health, or when the kids needed those emotional support and you went to those who were trained for that. They fail us. They fail our children. So when people are getting all uppity and upset, and sorry for use the word uppity because you really should be uppity, but when you're getting to the place where you're shocked that these ones would then try to take your power and give it to a child to make a decision about what is right for them. You have to realize that as it was in the beginning, so shall it be unto the end. As above, so below. As above, so below, that's where I sit. I don't really sit on the part where it says as it was in the beginning. That only works to remind me that I'm not expecting anything good from any of these ones at all. They are the same ones who do the human rights violations and then turn around and acknowledge you for it and tell you to come and tell them about it and say they're giving you opportunity to be reconciled to it. I'm laughing because yesterday I told you to stay positive. But the only way you're going to be able to stay positive again is to recognize what is in front of you, not surrender to it if it's something that you can resist, but surrender to what you cannot change. And for me, in this video, I can't change other people. I can't change, let's say, them, whoever it falls within that realm of them. I can't change them. This is who they are. History shows the patterns and the behavior and the fact that these ones cannot change, because the more they change, the more they remain the same. And so you stand against the mountain and you face the heavens and you look up and you say, you are my source. Upon this rock I stand, and everything else is sinking sand. Once you're on that rock standing, you understand that the ones who have control over your reality, over your understanding, or the ones that truly control what is important, will forever be your guide. Okay? So ignore anyone who wants to take control over your life, because it was not given to them, it was given to you. When you transcend this physical plane, they can't stop it. And when it's time for you to stay and remain here, grounded in truth and righteousness, they can prevent it. Okay? The more they talk and talk and talk and talk, the more you realize they're desperate. And all the bravado and the thing. Remember, we are not here forever in the physical. But spiritually, we make impact. At least I hope that when I transcend, I would have left a legacy behind me. My fantasy is to be in a room filled with people and hearing how I have impacted their life in a positive way. And those who don't have that mindset will constantly run through like the demon that died and said that it wants to come back as a virus. Best thing I ever heard from the mouth of a devil. All right. I'm going to leave it right here. Point being, it's nothing new. But it's up to you how you deal with people who constantly desire to control other people. Stay blessed, everyone.